keep on learning. The soldiers, they keep on warring. World, it keeps on turning. And it won't be too long. The powers, they keep on lying. The people, they keep on dying. World, keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long. I'm so darn glad he let me try it again, 'cause this last time on earth I lived a whole world of sin. I'm so darn glad I know more now than I knew then. I'm gonna keep on trying until I reach the highest ground. Till I reach the highest ground. How's everybody doing? You guys good? Well, I'm so darn glad he let me try it again, 'cause this last time on earth I lived a whole world of sin. I'm so darn glad I know more now than I knew then. I'm gonna keep on trying till I reach the highest ground. What's it on? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you guys. How's it going? Happy Sunday.
Mr. Jason Goldstein.
Ah.
And his guys.
And Friend.
Wyatt and Finn. Who's Finn? You look like a Finn. You look like a Finn. And Wyatt, we've seen you before. Yes? No?
Wyatt actually has not been here before.
No.
These are my Campbell Hall League. Yeah, my Campbell Hall students. They're amazing musicians.
Well, you guys do very well together. How wonderful is that? Hi, Nancy. Hi, everybody. Welcome. The 4T Prosperity Program is well represented this morning. I love that. I love that. There was a method to my madness, shall we say. I want to thank Reverend Mike for inviting me to speak this morning. This is the Granada Hills Center for Spiritual Living. It's a center where we honor all who are on their spiritual pathway, who practice their beliefs in faith and love. In the old days, we used to do hugs and handshakes, but turn and look at somebody and say, welcome. How's that? So, today is a very special day. It is the culmination of our 4T Prosperity Program, and that's why most everybody's here. It's like being mandated to come to church, you know, and I don't care, because I love seeing all of you in person, because we did it on Zoom. And so it was a test that we were doing for the 4T people to see how it would work on Zoom. For those, I want to welcome those on the live stream this morning as well, and let you know that, as I said, or did I say this? It's a center where we honor everyone who's on their spiritual pathway, who practice their beliefs in faith and love. And our call to service is called Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from that one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. As our presider today, Reverend Nancy Woods, lights the first candle, it is for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. The second candle we light for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the 5th candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the 4 noble truths and the path of compassion. We light the 6th candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the 7th candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the submission, the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the 8th candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The 9th candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the 10th candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives and the space that we're holding for them in this center and in our online ministry. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own souls. There is one flame, one light within.
And we choose to acknowledge this flame within each and every one of us. Acknowledge that there is a divine presence in this universe, all-knowing, all-powerful, absolutely everywhere present, manifesting in so many ways, manifesting as each one of us, manifesting itself as the service that we are stepping into, manifesting as the music, the words, the greetings, the energy of each person beside ourselves. All this is that divine presence of life revealing itself uniquely in so many ways. As we acknowledge that this presence is unique, we acknowledge that the creative flow of the universe is constantly announcing itself in so many ways. As we step into this experience and this hour together, we step into an experience in which we are able to open our hearts and our minds and let ourselves be fed in such a way that we have the divine opportunity to expand our own awareness of who and what we are. As we go forth in this hour, we go forth with such a loving heart that only thing that can manifest is a divine blessing itself. And as we acknowledge this as an opportunity, the word must be fulfilled. Because the energy of the universe accepts the mold of our word and brings it forth into manifestation. So we can acknowledge this, we can accept this, we lovingly accept the opportunity to share this path with each other as we embrace this moment and willingly allow ourselves to say yes to life and this experience and this opportunity. And we acknowledge the law of the universe that is fulfilling the word that has been placed in it as we say together. And so it is. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Welcome. It is always a beautiful experience to be here. But I'm telling you, after 2 years, 3 years, almost 3 years, of standing before these chairs and nobody in them, I'm glad to see y'all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, it just feels, glorious. Thank y'all for being here. Oh, Spirit is so good. It fulfills our heart in many ways. And that it's fulfilled itself, bringing itself into expression in all these different ways is what I wanted to share with you this morning. You know, we call it infinite, and we call it all-knowing, all-powerful. We say it's everywhere present. We give it all these terms that says more, greater, greater. But I want to talk about something that brings it back to here. No matter how great or how powerful we say this oneness is, we are all here uniquely individualized, unlike any other being in the world. Each one of us has that gift of giving forth that is uniquely ours. Spirit doesn't duplicate. It keeps creating newness. That's what it's about. And it has gifted all of us with that wondrous opportunity to bring whatever our gift is into expression. And no matter how great we did it yesterday, we can do it greater today. That's the power. It's never, we don't have to worry about yesterday's gift and how we bought it. What are we bringing now? And the most powerful moment in the universe is the current moment. Actually, it's the only one that there is. It's the current moment. I mean, we can talk about the others, but the only one that we can know about is this one. And knowing that this energy, this spiritual presence that we are here to celebrate and to embrace and to acknowledge and to rejoice in, has given us an opportunity to I'm trying to think of when something is so great, finding the right words. You know, we haven't created those words yet that quite get there. But it is amazing, I mean uniquely amazing, that this oneness can come forth in so many ways. And sometimes I like to say, take something that seems so alike. You realize that every one of these chairs probably has something about them that's totally different. Okay. And our job is to be and to bring forth what our uniqueness is. And I've had that lesson brought to me very, very, I don't even know the term to describe it. Because what I did, I was trying to explain to somebody how we could make things better for them so that they could have a better life. And the person looked at me and said, I thought I was doing all right. You know, you ever felt like you were this small? Well, I was this small. Because I realized as soon as they said it, oh my God, yes. Open your eyes and your heart. Praise the divine that is in front of you. See the wondrous love of what Spirit has just revealed to you in another being. Y'all, everybody is unique. Everybody has their own greatness. Sometimes I have to work to see it. But I trust the universe, so I know it's there. It's there. And I realize this is a journey, being able to see it, embrace it, and appreciate it. Thank you all for being part of my journey to learn, to know, and to understand these truths. I think that it gets better and better and better. And I'm going to start focusing on the better and start trying to figure out how to fix the past. And thank you for allowing me to share my understanding.
Thank you. Wow. Good morning, you guys. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be joined by some really amazing students of mine. This is Wyatt Nash on guitar. Wyatt's going to be a senior at Campbell Hall next year. This is Finn Darby playing drums. Finn just graduated Campbell Hall and is off to college next year. Both of these guys are wonderful multi-instrumentalists, and we're using today to practice these instruments. So. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. Someday, someday. Deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. We'll walk hand in hand. Someday, someday, someday. Oh, deep, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday. That's Wyatt. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. Not afraid today. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome. That we shall overcome. That we shall overcome someday. Yeah, these guys are so good. Sounding awesome. Thank you.
You know, I have to say I appreciate that arrangement.
Me too. Thank you.
I can remember singing that in the streets when we were marching. And I'm looking at this and saying, oh my God. Beautiful, just beautiful. Yeah, just beautiful. Boy, y'all have talent up there. Wow. Thank you. Oh, I'm supposed to make announcements. If you're looking for a 2-minute tune-up and you want to change something around, turn it around and let it go in a different direction, or even speed it up, there's a 2-minute tune-up that you can have with some practitioner. If we have practitioners in the audience, raise their hand. Any of those people with their hands up will help you go in a direction or faster in the direction you're already going. So take advantage of that. Youth Church is, we want to announce it, is the first, second, and third Sundays at 10:30. Reverend Nicole, who's standing back there with putting her mouth, something in her mouth. So you can contact if you want to participate in that experience. And we also have in our young adult program, which we are waking up and bringing into expression. And you're going to be one of our first ones, so you know that, right? Thank you. I love it. I love it. So there was that announcement. Oh, the raffle ticket. We have raffle tickets for this beautiful ring. I don't know. Do you have a picture of the ring? No? He's going to figure it out where it is. Anyway, if you want to participate in our church, you see Scott, Nicole, Reverend Nicole, and Andrea, I don't know where she is. And Mike? No, you named the right people. I named the right people. Oh, okay. If you want to buy tickets. And also, I wanted to announce that we're going to have a summer theater camp and from August the 7th to the 11th. And so if you have children that want to participate or young people that want to participate in this, it should be a great adventure for you to experience. So would you stand and say the Declaration of Principles with me? We believe in one universal spirit manifesting through all, natural and incarnate in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal too and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, in the immortality of the individual soul, forever expanding. We believe in eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
Heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of me. Oh, the spirit and nature within and without. Now that you know that God's right here, right now. Yeah, heaven's inside of me. Yeah, heaven's inside of you. Heaven's inside of you. Oh, the spirit and nature within and without. Now that you know that God's right here, right now. Yeah, heaven's inside of you. Yeah, heaven's inside of us. Yeah, heaven's inside of us. Oh, there's spirit and nature within and without. Now that you know that God's right here, right now. Yeah, heaven's inside of us. All right, going up. Heaven's inside of us. Yeah, heaven's inside of us. The spirit and nature within and without. Now that we know that God's right here, right now. Yeah, heaven's inside of us. Let's tag it. Yeah, heaven's inside of us. Yeah, heaven's inside of us. You guys sound great. All right.
So good morning again. We have anyone here for the first time? You're welcome here. Thank you for being here. How did you find us? Yes.
It's closer than the one I live in Santa Clarita.
Oh, we have some Santa Clarita people here too. Yes. Yes, you do. We do. So welcome, welcome. Join us for fellowship afterwards. We actually have snacks. We didn't for a long time. We didn't have snacks for a long time, for obvious reasons. You know, it's so interesting, Nancy, to be on the platform with you. You know, Nancy really needs to get a personality. That's all I have to say. We used to joke about being twins separated before birth, and she got all the color, and I worried about that for years. So I want to thank you for dressing up and showing up this morning. This is a wonderful opportunity. I haven't been on the platform here for a long time. For those of you who might be newer to the center, I was the minister here for 14 and a half years, starting in 1995. And it was an interesting journey coming here after the former pastor had passed away, and to work with the congregation who, after only 2 months of Reverend Jason being here, they were grieving the loss of this young man who was just so incredibly wonderful. And my first Sunday here, Jason called me from the hospital the night before, and he said, if they offer you the church, you have to take it. And I said, okay, I will do that. So I spoke that Sunday, the 12th of March, and Jason died at 5 o'clock that afternoon. So it was prophetic in a way. It was prophetic. Now they've given me a new thing here, and let me see if I can work it. Abracadabra. How appropriate. How appropriate is that? So did you know that the word abracadabra is from the Aramaic phrase abracadabra, which means literally, I will create as I speak. Yes. Abracadabra. You know, magicians use this word all the time, you know, as just like abracadabra. There it is. So we completed the 4T Prosperity Program last week, and the course helped to demonstrate for many of us in miraculous ways. Now, we think it's miraculous. We think it's amazing. We think it's unbelievable. And yet, there it was. There it was. They spoke their word on a daily basis, read the material provided, and created a shift in consciousness that cannot be denied. Now, the fact of the matter is, the shift in consciousness, once we achieve that shift, it can't go back to its original form. And that's the good news and the bad news all rolled into one. Because we often stop ourselves from demonstrating, thinking that, well, what if it doesn't work? What if it turns out the way it used to turn out? What if? Well, one of my teachers told me one time that what if is only relegated to people who write mystery novels. You know, you can only think about what if. If you're a religious scientist, it's in the present moment totally and completely. So their consciousness of receptivity was elevated to a new level of awareness. And each person in their own unique and wonderful way demonstrated some form of prosperity in their lives. So we have this equation. Decision plus desire equals demonstration. And that's basically the creative process. Basically it is. You know, I make a decision. Actually, I think I have it backwards. I desire to experience something. I plant that seed in the subconscious mind, and it comes out as my demonstration to the degree that I'm receptive to it. And that's the caveat. It is to the degree that I'm receptive to it. I've had people over the years tell me, you know, you're a lousy practitioner. I didn't demonstrate anything. Well, I don't take personal responsibility for anybody's demonstration. You know, if I'm doing treatment for you, how it shows up is to the degree of your receptivity to it. So conscious choice to engage in the program, setting a desired goal, equaled and unparalleled demonstrations in the lives of the people who attended. Each person used their creative imagination, and by doing so, everyone was open and receptive to God's living spirit of truth. So let's say that together. I am open and receptive to God's living spirit of truth. You know, we could say that every day, you know, before we turn on the engine of the car, before we walk out the door to go to work, if we do that, before we put our feet on the ground in the morning. You know, sitting on the edge of the bed, I am open and receptive to God's living spirit of truth. So I love this little meme. Sometimes you need to look at things from a different perspective. You know, I challenge anyone here in this room to be able to do this. Sorry, I laughed about that. But I thought that was so cute, you know, so cute. So Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the most brilliant people I think I've ever read. A person will worship something, have no doubt about that, he said. We may think our tribute is paid in secret and in the dark recesses of our hearts, but it will come out. That which dominates our imaginations and our thoughts will determine our lives and our character. Therefore, it behooves us to be careful what we worship, for what we are worshiping, we are becoming. So that which dominates our imaginations and our thoughts. So what is it that we're thinking that keeps us stuck in our unworthiness? What is it that we're thinking? Now, I don't want to say what goes on for me because I don't want to give you any ideas. But what keeps us stuck in just making do or maybe just getting by? What keeps us in that place of, you know, talk to the hand kind of demonstration? You know, it seems like the Lord's Prayer has taken on a new meaning these days. Instead of our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, it would seem to be our Father which art in heaven, money be thy name. You know, and there's an awful lot of conversation on the news. It's strange when the richest people in the world are billionaires who will never, ever be able to spend their wealth. And most of them contribute less than 1% to charitable organizations, with a couple of exceptions. A few years ago, Ted Turner tried to convince the United States' richest men and women to create a foundation to provide college and university paid tuition for any student maintaining above a 3.5 average who wanted to go to college but couldn't afford it. He posited that no student should have to take out loans to pay for college education. And guess what? His efforts fell on deaf ears. I mean, it was a sad thing to watch the way in which these rich people decided that they did not want to support such an effort. And yet there are some people, like I think it's LeBron James, who's from Ohio, who paid for the college education of everybody who graduated this year and has done so for the last 3 years. Okay, so that's all I know about basketball. I always keep pointing over there when I should be pointing up there. According to what Nancy was saying today, no one changes unless they want to. Not if you beg them, not if you shame them, not if you use reason, emotion, or tough love. There's only one thing that makes someone change, their own realization that they need to do it. You know, having been in a 12-step program for years, I see that all the time. I see it all the time. You know, you can be dragged kicking and screaming to a 12-step meeting, but until you decide to walk in the door on your own volition, nothing changes. So Ernest Holmes said, as is my faith, so is my acceptance. As is my acceptance, so is my expectancy. And finally, as is my expectancy, so is my experience. It's just a natural progression of things. when we use this quote from him and we look at it and analyze it, we can see where our experience and our faith may not be matched. Now, it's not up to anybody else to change us in terms of that. So how deep is my faith that all my needs will be met? Do I believe that there's enough wealth to go around to meet the needs of every man, woman, and child in the world, in this country, in this town, or in this center today? If I truly believe that God is the source and substance of my supply, I have accepted this truth. And as is my acceptance, so is my expectancy. And as is my expectancy, so is my experience. Personally, am I there yet? Well, not quite. This past 12 weeks has raised my expectancy to about 75%. You know, I was experiencing 50% before class started, having a moment, because I'm being challenged with, never mind what I'm being challenged with. I don't want to give you any ideas again. You know, my faith might be lacking a bit, because it occurred to me while writing this talk that old habits die hard. And I have this idea that 100% expectancy is not sustainable. I mean, seriously, I actually said that in my head. And I said, shut up. I've been fudding on myself lately. Ernest Holmes calls fudding fear, uncertainty, and doubt. FUD. So when you hear me say that to you, you know what I'm talking about, right? He said we are wont to do fear, uncertainty, and doubt when the demonstrations don't show up in volume or to the degree which we feel entitled. This is not an entitlement issue. This is a belief issue. You know, how close are you to your belief system? How close are you to your BS? Every day for the last 12 weeks, we spoke the affirmation, I am prosperous, 400 times a day. 200 in the morning, 200 at night. You know, while you're doing this, you can't have a negative thought. You know, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous. I can't think two thoughts at the same time. So what happened was we were surrendering to Spirit over and over again for 12 weeks. And it becomes a life-changing choice point. Now, I didn't just make this choice point thing up. It's a physics term. Some of you may already know this. That describes moments in time where our choices seem to have a greater impact on the way something turns out. And a guy from Princeton, Hugh Everett, coined the term in 1957. What precious gifts we have in free will and the power to choose. How we utilize these faculties is the choice we make individually and collectively. So what is my choice point? You know, at which moment in my choice point do I say, this is happening? This is happening. Or not, this will be happening, or this didn't happen, but this is happening. And that's the point when something truly shifts in the mind and the heart of the person making the choice. The Hopi tribe says that when prayer and meditation are used, rather than relying on new inventions to create more imbalance, the people of the earth will also find the true path. When prayer and meditation are used, the people of the earth will also find the true path. You know, how many of us use prayer and meditation as a choice point? How many of us do this practice every day? Stretton Smith said prayer and meditation will lay a strong foundation for the energy frequencies we magnetize during the day. You know, if I'm having a bad day, the thing I do is go back into prayer and meditation for a little bit. And that changes everything for me, especially when I worked outside my home. You know, some days other people were the contributing factor in my, my difficulty, let's call it that. He also suggests that we employ the principle of surrender as a pivotal part of this process. Say that fast. Pivotal part of the process. I use it on a regular basis, and some of you have heard this story before, but I'm going to repeat it again because it is just so appropriate. Years ago, I drove a Toyota Previa. My son was in football, and I hauled smelly football players around in my car. And one Sunday, the kid's dad decided to seed the front lawn, and he brought in about 4 loads of manure in the back of my car. He did not take the car to the car cleaning place after he did this. Monday morning, my friend Margaret is coming to visit me at my work. And I thought, oh my God, Margaret's so fastidious about everything. I'm going to be so embarrassed when she gets in the car and it smells like football players and manure. So I said, well, Margaret's coming to see me. And she's not coming to see my car. She's coming to see me. And I need to be the one to be able to drive her around because she doesn't know where she's going, and I wouldn't drive with her anyway. But I just surrendered it totally and completely. Now, I'm at the front desk in this office, and I greet people at my work, and they put me there because I remember everybody's name and everybody's face. You know, it was a good employment possibility. Margaret was coming to go to lunch with me. I surrendered the whole thing, let it go. And not 30 seconds later, a guy puts his head in the door and said, I'm here to detail cars. Anyone here need a detailing? 30 seconds after surrender, he showed up. You know, the more spiritual story that Stretton Smith shares is an Asian story about an empty rice bowl. The empty rice bowl is a symbol of prosperity. Now you'd think, wait, that doesn't make sense. A full rice bowl would be a symbol of prosperity, but it's not. An empty rice bowl is a symbol of prosperity. A person in China or Japan would understand the significance and be delighted to receive an empty rice bowl as a gift. But a person in the Western Hemisphere given an empty bowl might wonder why it wasn't filled with something. The empty rice bowl is preferred by the Asians because a full rice bowl is of no further use. Nothing can be added. The emptiness or the vacuum of the rice bowl is what gives it its value. With a full rice bowl, we no longer have the choice of selecting what goes inside. A full rice bowl may not be filled with what we want anyway, because someone else is choosing for us. I thought about that. You know, how often have my children gave me something that I didn't want, you know, for Christmas or for my birthday or something. So now we have a family agreement. We all make lists. We don't buy everything on the list, but everybody gets something that they wanted. Works for me. Makes shopping a lot easier. But as a metaphor, it is meaningful to anyone who has ever had a desire, a goal, or an unfulfilled potential. Because we've been given free will and choice, remembering that God's will and my will are one and the same thing, they're not separate, it is up to each one of us to create the life we've dreamed of. So we get an empty rice bowl. The imagination really knows no boundaries. You know, if we really are imaginative, sometimes I've been told that I embellish things a little bit. Well, I don't exaggerate, I embellish. And it certainly makes the story more interesting, right? But there are no limits but for the ones we put on ourselves. We do, we hold ourselves back. And whether we know it or not, we have been born to this life to live it more abundantly. One of the stories I tell in the prosperity workshops I've done illustrates the idea of our glass ceiling of receptivity. We all have one, you know, we do. One day, my sister Donna and I were in Costco. It's perhaps the last time I went there, and it was about 20 years ago, so you know how often I go there. While strolling through the aisles, we ran into a friend of mine. I hadn't seen her for a very long time. I introduced my sister to her, and my friend immediately commented on my sister's earrings. My sister's stepdaughter creates these beautiful earrings out of this iridescent plastic. And each one of the earrings is different, but they have all the same colors in them, so you can wear them with various things. My friend thought they were beautiful. And in that moment, my sister took the earrings off and gave them to her. She resisted the gift at first, but Donna insisted that she could get more where they came from. The following week in class, this was a while back, I used it as an example of receptivity. That night, I wore a pair of 18-karat gold balls that a friend had brought me from Colombia. And I asked the class if they would accept them if I took them off and gave them to someone. They said, of course, that they would accept them. I happened to notice that Shannon Wolf was wearing 1-carat emeralds in each ear and a 1/2-carat diamonds in each ear. She had 2 earrings in each ear. And I asked them if they could imagine her giving them to one of the students in class. Shannon turned white as a sheet, thinking that I was going to invite her to do so, but I didn't. It was just to see where they were. I assured her she was just my visual aid for the class. But the point I was making is that we all have a glass ceiling of receptivity. No one would have taken the emeralds or the diamonds, because these gold balls that I was wearing were the level of their receptivity. You know, what you need to know about this story is that every so often, since I returned to live in Thousand Oaks, I'll run into this friend. And every time, she reminds me about the generosity of my sister giving her those earrings. It was like so spontaneous. And she always comments about it. She still has the earrings, she says, and she wears them from time to time because she says those earrings have such good vibrations. You know, I've been giving lots of things away lately. A couple of friends have come shopping in my closet, and each piece of clothing I release, I bless it, knowing that it is useful and looks beautiful on someone else. Each piece of jewelry I've given away is blessed, as well as whatever else I've given away. It represents good vibrations to the person wearing it. My children are a tad suspicious as to why I'm giving away all this stuff, right? I think they think I'm going to die or something. Well, I am going to die eventually, but not right today. One of the things is about spaciousness and creating openness in one's life so that the energies can flow freely in our lives. If we have a closet so stuffed with clothes, you know, perhaps it's, I do not use all I have, but someone else can. Someone else can. You know, how many pairs of shoes can one wear? How many blouses can one wear? How many coffee mugs can you use? How many vases do you need? Someone else may be thinking, I wish I had a beautiful vase or a coffee mug or a pair of shoes. The Ventura Rescue Mission and I are on a first name basis now because I give them so many things. My creative imagination gets exercised every time I release something to the mission, knowing that the person who gets it is filled with joy at their terrific find. And imagining giving something away to someone and imagining their response when they go get it at the Ventura Rescue Mission, or they put flowers in a vase that, oh, look at my good fortune, I found this vase at the Rescue Mission store. You know, if you're a part today of the 4T Prosperity Program and you're here, for those who stayed the course, I have a gift for you here. And I'm not going to give them out until the end of the service because I think the guys are ready to play some music for us right now. And I'll talk just a tiny bit more about that when we do this at the end of the service. But you know, creative imagination is something that we all have. We have to exercise it. We have to use it or lose it. And I know that as we use it, the more we use it, the more life change, the more the expectancy becomes our experience, knowing that with God, all things are possible. Thank you for having me here today, and take it, Jason.
Thank
Yay.
you, thank you. When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still as I wait here in the silence for you to come and stay a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. Yeah, Wyatt. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on the stormy seas. I am strong, so I can stand on mountains. And it's 'cause you raised me up to more than I can be. You raised me up to more than I can be. Yeah, thank you guys, thank you. Nice work.
Josh Groban needs to have that arrangement. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. So it's our time of conscious giving right now. I'll have to get my gift out of my pocket. Thank you, Chloe, for bringing the basket up.
That song was, I dedicated that song to my grandpa.
Oh, Chloe dedicated the song to her grandpa. How nice. How nice. Mike usually does a really long and wonderful treatment for the offering basket. But I want you to repeat after me today as you hold your gift in your hand. If you brought something today, if not, just put your hand over your heart. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to my center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. Take it.
Spirit gives through me. Spirit receives through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives to us. Spirit receives through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us.
I like seeing that people have come back who came before for the first time. Hi, Margie. Nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Oh, I'm so excited that you're walking down the aisle here.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's been a long time.
Yes.
I'm walking.
Margie, do you feel comfortable in telling them how old you were this last birthday?
97 is nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going for 100.
Oh, gosh. Yes. Margie, you are the elder of this congregation. You know that, right? John Sparks passed away, so you move up in the ranks at being 97. So the alive person. Oh, okay. Nice to have you here today.
Oh, good to be here.
Oh, sweet. All right, so I'm doing a little thing this morning. Anybody who stayed the course in the 4T Prosperity Program, would you come up to the front, please? Come on. Margie's the aisle greeter. The aisle greeter. Some of our 4T people could not be here, but I don't know if you're still taping. Mike, are you? Yes, thank you. Evan, thank you. I want to acknowledge Lissa Moreno for being our tech assistant on the 4T Prosperity Program. She used to be with our youth school, but we've discovered that she's much more valuable as a tech assistant. Not that she wasn't valuable as a youth teacher, but boy, oh boy, it's so wonderful to be on Zoom and not have to do any of the technical stuff at the same time, because she takes care of all of it. We have some little people here today too as well. Nice to have you. There's a little shyness going on, it looks like, yes, but nice to have you all. And thank you, Charlene and Jenny, for being with the children today. I got to have lunch with Charlene's mom last week, who was here from Australia. We were in a mastermind group probably 20 years ago for about 6 years. And you know, sometimes when you're in groups like that with people, you never, ever stop being their friend, because you get back together and we talk about the same things. So these people finished the class, as did several others, and I want you to turn around and grab one of those bags randomly, because it's perfect for you. Yes?
Can I say something about our ring tickets?
Yes, good. Go back to your seats, because you're going to open them. Yes. So I know a couple of people are out of town. Did you get yours? Not yet. And Nancy Shriver, would you pick one for Amabile? Thank you. You're welcome. Did you get yours? Okay. So everybody who finished class got an empty rice bowl. Significant. Reverend Nikki would like to make a quick announcement. Guys, yes.
So we're doing the ring raffle, and I have some tickets out in the back. And so one ticket is $10, 3 is $25, 15 is $100. I would love to get some of these tickets sold, so please see me after the service.
Yes. It's a beautiful ring. Sapphires, diamonds, and 18-karat gold. Yes. Yeah. It would look gorgeous on this. Yeah, mine. Well, okay, you too, yeah. All right, come on. Thank you all for being here this morning. Thank you to Reverend Mike again for inviting me to be here. And have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday. Reverend Nancy is going to pray us out.
Pray us out, huh?
Yes.
Oh, thank you, Reverend Maureen. Thank you all for joining me, and thank you. That was beautiful. And thank you for bringing your students. You definitely were a treat today. Oh, yeah. A major blessing. And listen, the gift of love that's coming towards you is to help you go on further with that gift that you are offering. And thank you so much. So as we recognize that each one of us are in this avenue, and we take our rice bowl and allow ourselves to be willing to fill it with something new, something great, and something expansive. And as we know this and understand this, that this is what life has given us, an opportunity to be greater today, tomorrow, and so forth. So it's with love, we thank the universe for bringing us together in this atmosphere of love, support, beauty, gifts of expression, and always. And we go forth from this experience knowing that we are a gift to society. And everybody around us is blessed because we are willing participants in being who and what we are. So we joyously join together in knowing these truths, knowing that this is what this is about, what life is about, and with the beauty that comes from it. We acknowledge it because the law has says yes already. And together we say, and so it is.
Please join me in singing the peace song.
This morning, because there's a little bit too many people for a circle.
Yeah.
Sad.
Ah!
All right, here we go. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as the power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Have a great day, you guys.